One of the biggest fears that homeowners have when thinking about selling their home is, what if my home doesn't sell? And it's a fair concern because when a home sits on the market too long, it can really start to feel stressful. At the end of the day, you want your home sold. So you might start wondering, did we price it wrong? Is something wrong with the house? Did we miss our chance? But there's something important to understand. When a home doesn't sell, it usually isn't because the home itself is the problem. It's usually because one part of the strategy was off. So today I want to walk you through why homes sometimes don't sell in New York. We're talking why homes don't sell in Queens, why homes don't sell in Brooklyn, why homes don't sell in Long Island, why homes don't sell in the other boroughs and the surrounding areas. What it actually means when that happens. And most importantly, what do smart sellers do next? And it's not panic. All right. So first, let's normalize something. Even in strong markets, strong sellers markets, not every home sells right away. Sometimes homes expire. That means that there was let's say a 6-month contract as an example between the sellers, the homeowners, and the agent who's selling the property. Sometimes that date comes and goes. It expires, just like your, gallon of milk. So at that point, it's not on the market. Sometimes sellers take the home off the market themselves. Sometimes they pause and relist later. This happens in literally every real estate market cycle. The important thing is not to panic, because when a home doesn't sell, it's usually a signal that something needs to be adjusted versus abandoned. It's key to hone in on that. In my experience, most homes that struggle on the market fall into one of 4 categories. The first category being pricing. This is the most common one. If a home is priced above where buyers actually see value, the market responds with silence. Crickets. No showings, very little showings, very few offers, or none at all. And silence is one of the most important signals that sellers can pay attention to. They are talking to you. Silence is the market responding to you. Because buyers today, they're extremely informed. They are comparing homes constantly. Sometimes they're looking at homes 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. That's how often they're looking. If they feel something is overpriced, they are simply moving on to the next option, regardless of the market. Second thing is presentation. Buyers make emotional decisions. So if the home doesn't show well in photos, or if it feels cluttered, dark, or dated when they walk in, or if it's just not being portrayed well online, that affects how they perceive value. Sometimes the difference between a home selling quickly and sitting on the market is surprisingly simple. You'll be surprised. It's going to just be better lighting. It's going to be cleaning things up, decluttering, getting rid of a lot of things that are in the way, right? You want to be neutralizing the space, or stronger photography, a better marketing presence, right? The third is competition. Many sellers evaluate their price based only on past sales. And that's a good starting point. But buyers are looking not just at what's sold, they're looking at what's available right now. The neighbor down the street that's very similar to your house, that's your competition right now. So closed sales, they set the baseline, they help with the pricing, but active listings set the competition. If a newer, renovated, or better positioned home enters the market nearby, it can shift buyer attention quickly. So keep that in mind. The fourth is marketing exposure, which we touched a little bit on it, but today's buyers discover homes online first. It's simple as that. You probably did that for your home, right? Which means that your listing really needs to have strong photography, it has to have strategic marketing, it has to be put in front of the right people, it has to have broad digital exposure as well. If a home doesn't get visibility early, it can miss its strongest momentum window, and that is paramount. The first 3 weeks, the first 2, 3 weeks on the market, they're usually when buyer attention is at the highest point. So with all this in mind, what actually happens when a home sits too long? Now, here's something important. When a home stays on the market too long, buyers start asking a different question. And this question is what switches things around. Instead of when can we see this home, the question becomes what's wrong with it? And we don't want that question asked, but it happens. And even if nothing is actually wrong, the perception starts changing. It's just the nature of the business. That's why strategy matters from the very beginning, not when things go awry, even though you have to have a strategy for that as well. Momentum is one of the most powerful forces in real estate, period. So you want to take advantage of that while it's in your favor. you need to leverage that to the max, So what smart sellers do next? If your home doesn't sell, the next step can't just be frustration. It has to be like a 5-minute rule. Get really mad about it, get upset, get all your emotions out, and now pause it. Now we need to do an analysis. The smart sellers step back and ask, was the pricing aligned with the current market conditions? Here's a question that you can ask yourself, right? Did I come up with that price, or did we come up with that price? So did you have an emotional attachment to a specific number, and regardless of what your agent said to you, you still went with it? Or did your agent overpromise on the pricing just to get your home? You might have interviewed several agents. Most of them said the same price bracket, but then you had that one agent that bought your listing, as we call it in the industry, where they overpromised. They said, no, we can get way more than that. And you went with it just based on that premise, not based on the actual data that was in front of you. Consider it. Now, did the home show as well as it could? Was the marketing strategy strong enough? And most importantly, what adjustments could reposition the home successfully? Sometimes the solution is pricing, sometimes it's presentation, sometimes it's timing. But with the right strategy, many homes that didn't sell the first time can absolutely sell the second time, often with better results. We've made it happen, so we know it happens. The important mindset shift. So if your home doesn't or didn't sell, it doesn't mean the opportunity is gone. So just take a pause on that. It simply means that the strategy needs to evolve. Real estate markets, they're dynamic. Conditions shift, things in the world change, sometimes on a daily basis. Buyer demand shifts, inventory shifts. The key is to approach the next step thoughtfully rather than emotionally, because emotionally is definitely the first thing that's pulling at you. But when the positioning is right, when you actually approach things thoughtfully and you strategize versus, just getting wrapped up in the emotion, which I know is easier said than done. But when the positioning is right, the market responds. So just because you were out of position originally does not mean that we can't get you back into the right position to relaunch and to build momentum from the get-go. Give you kind of a new life to that listing, to your home being sold this time around. So if you're a homeowner who tried before, who tried to sell before, or you're worried about what might happen if your home doesn't sell, the most important thing you can have is clarity. If you tried and you weren't able to get it sold, we want to make sure that you're understanding what happened, understanding what the market is doing now, and understanding what strategy would give you the best position moving forward. So if you need help with strategizing, if you were unable to sell your home the first time around, if you had your home on the market here in New York and you had it on the market for months and months and months and months, and you were unable to sell that home, reach out to us. You can reach me at 917-982-8899. Again, that's 917-982-8899 for a no cost, no obligation relaunch meeting where we can talk about what it would take to get your home sold, what that would mean monetarily for you, what you're going to walk away with, and what our plan is to get your home successfully sold and get you where you want to go. So feel free, if you want to learn a little bit more about me, feel free to go on YouTube, search Sell Your Queen's Home. You get to see quite a few videos that we've made on there. And if you want to see what I'm up to today, check us out on Instagram at David Garcia, KW, all in one word, and we can connect there as well. I look forward to talking to you soon. And don't forget, sellyourqueenshome.com. You can check out the blog there for more info as well. Hope to talk to you guys soon. See you on the next one.